And we are back.
We are back, bumble bitches.
Today we are going to be doing a side conversation from a TikTok thing that I screenshotted this morning. And I want to give a disclaimer because the last time we had a conversation like this, I got a ton of hate because I, as a man, do not have a right to tell a stay-at-home mom that she should protect her identity and be something other than a mother. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Kenya came out of the woodworks and was like, I've said that. I believe that. You were like, I fucking stand by that. Yeah, but there was a lot of hate. There was a lot of salt thrown my way because I, as a man, shouldn't be talking to a stay-at-home mom about her identity. It's not appropriate, whatever. Eat a dick. I believe that as a man that is married to a woman who was doing the stay-at-home mom thing at the time and have witnessed what you go through, I have every right to speak on it.
100%.
And as a human being, I have a right to an opinion. And if you don't like the opinion, move on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I want to add on to that because I have been doing research for my postpartum video that I want to do. And I am now delving into YouTube creators who have talked about or documented their postpartum experience. And I turned on one woman's video and it took her 1 minute and 12 seconds to turn me off. And I changed it. I went to something else.
What was it? She
said, you know, hello, this is my postpartum experience. I've had 3 kids, whatever. And then she goes, men, go ahead and leave. This is a conversation just for the women. You don't need to be here. This isn't for you. Ladies, we're going to wait a second, make sure that they're gone. However she phrased it. But she made it very well known that men were not welcome in this space. And immediately I went, ew. Get it away from me. I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Like sticky child hands. Don't touch me. And I had that adverse reaction because why is postpartum not a man's business?
Right. It should be. That's the whole point of us having those conversations.
Right? Postpartum, the after effects of birth and the hormone drops and all of that does directly affect the woman.
It directly affects the man too.
Right. Because I was going there, babe. If you had waited 1 second.
I don't want to wait. It's important.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That's the end of my thought.
Oh. I don't think that you should be isolating anyone. If you're a content creator and you remove half of the people who could potentially watch your content, that's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Because you get paid for views.
Right.
In a conversation where you're talking about somebody's mental health or their physical health, and it's maybe she's a single mom and has had really bad choices in men and they've all abandoned her after the kids were born, and she's got, some bitterness towards men and doesn't have the experience of actually being with a man while going through postpartum depression to understand how it affects relationships because she hasn't made it that far.
Right.
There's a reason for that. So like her lived experience obviously leads into that whole thing, but that's a very shitty mindset.
Yeah, I heard that. And my first thought was, what if there's a man out there who is married? They have a newborn, 6-7 months old infant at this point, and they don't understand why their marriage has changed. They don't understand what has happened to their wife, and they're doing the best they can, and all it seems to do is piss her off or make her cry. And she says she feels alone, but I'm here. I don't understand. And every video he hits with postpartum discussions is, well, men aren't welcome here. Well, how am I supposed to help my wife? She can't talk to me. Other women aren't willing to talk to me about this. Men don't know what the hell is going on. We can try our best, but without talking to the direct people who it's affecting, how are we going to support you?
Right. That's a good point. This is not a postpartum episode.
No.
This is a stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
episode. So somebody tagged us in a video this morning, and I tried to download it. They had the save video off. They had the duet off, and the only thing that we could do is stitch. Well, if we stitch, because we're in the creator program, we get a violation. Then I tried to play, pause, type, play, pause, type, play, pause, type. And it's like a 3-minute video because of how long she was trying to make this go on. And it's going to start very negative and end with some positive. But as soon as I started watching, I was in the fucking comments.
You mean positive, negative, and positive from you or from her?
From her, it's going to start out negative.
Okay.
And then she's going to hit positive points afterwards. But I didn't make it to the positive points. I just heard the negative shit and like problem solved in the comments to the person who tagged us. Then as it continued and I realized that she started having other conversations, I was like, okay, this needs to be a full discussion, maybe on episode 49. Or 50. because I
I
don't
was
know
about
what
to say
we're
we
on.
did that yesterday.
Right. Or maybe we could do a standalone thing.
I
And
think standalone.
I think standalone is going to make a whole lot of sense. So we titled this the stay-at-home mom dilemma. The first video or the first screenshot, I'm just going to read this, says, and you can pause me whenever because I do that too when you read. How do you explain to your husband that you wish you still had a steady income and can contribute more to the household financially? You wish that you could still have a regular job to go to every day.
By saying that, that's what you say.
Okay.
Husband, I am having feelings of missing steady work and leaving the house and having routine of outside the home. I'm feeling guilty for not contributing financially when that's all I've been doing this whole time.
I'm not, because I'm gonna go back and read
Okay.
this again. You wish that you still had a steady income and could contribute more to the household financially.
Oh, steady income. I didn't latch onto that the first time.
You wish you could still go or still have a regular job to go to every day. And she's cleaning dishes right now.
Okay.
I believe that this speaks to the stay-at-home who doesn't have an identity. There's no social life anymore. All she does
No
is
hobbies.
Right. All she does is take care of the kids, doesn't fucking have friends. And if she does have friends, their entire lives probably revolve around being a mother.
Or negativity in general.
Right. Or failed marriages or fuck men or whatever it is. Either way, it's not a positive experience. And she probably has chosen to not engage in those. Maybe she's not hanging out with family anymore. She's isolated from sisters or brothers, moms and cousins, whatever the case may be. But there is definitely a lack of social interaction when you are cooped up in a house all day long. When you go to work, if you're working in an environment where you don't get to talk to anybody, it's very productive. You get a whole lot of shit done.
Or unless you're a couch potato.
Yeah, right. Or you're lazy.
Yeah.
So, but for that to be the case, there's not all jobs are going to be socially active jobs.
Or intellectually challenging.
Right. And for people who do have to people all day long that work, say, customer service, by the time they get home, they don't want to fucking deal with people anymore.
Don't touch me.
There's going to be a give and take in every one of these situations. And there's things that you have to do to make sure that you can maintain a level of sanity while doing it. So that first thing, as soon as I saw that first post, I was like, we've had these conversations on the podcast multiple times. This is somebody who doesn't have an identity other than a stay-at-home mom and needs social interactions. Then the next part said, you absolutely love staying at home with your son, but sometimes the days get long and you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. You do that at any job you go to. We do this over and over again. We edit over and over and over again.
Yep.
Piercings over and over and over again. Construction work over and over and over again. You can only frame a house so many fucking ways. Like,
yeah, there's only so many times you can tell someone, thank you, come again.
right. The difference is there's a social aspect to those jobs. Blue collar workers can sit around and talk shit to each other all day long. Tattoo and piercing industry, like conversations that go on in there when there's no clients. Fucking wow.
Oh,
Yeah. Blue collar, you guys got nothing on our vocabulary. I promise you.
we need an adult.
Yeah. We need an adultier adult.
Someone call the cops, please.
It's bad. But everybody gets tired of the regular routine. Like, you need change. But in this situation, I believe it comes down again to a lack of social interaction.
Adult interaction.
Right.
I'm also going to link into that. I think a big contributor is a lack of structured routine that's not created yourself. It's a lot easier to do something structured by somebody else.
Why is that? Because it doesn't work for me.
It doesn't work for me either. I'm happier living this life. I mean, working again kind of sucks, but we're helping a lot of people, so it outweighs it.
It's fulfilling.
It is.
But so why did you say that then if it doesn't work for you? Are you saying that in general that's the case?
Because I've noticed that in people. You know, the worker bee versus the queen bee mindset.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely...
That's not the way you say it, but that's the way I
there's a difference between an employee and an entrepreneur.
Yes, that way.
Some people are just meant to be worker bees. Some people are totally happy being a worker bee.
Yeah, and it's okay.
They don't want the responsibility. At 5 o'clock, they punch out. They're going the fuck home.
Right.
Work is done. As an entrepreneur, it's not. You never punch out. You're on the clock always.
Yeah.
So,
and you have to make money.
Right.
And sometimes people don't want to fully think about how they're making money. They just want to do the job that they either enjoy or the job they need to do right now to get to where they need to go. And either way, I'm making money, and then I can structure the rest of my life and take care of the family and the wife and the sick parents or the sick dog.
Yeah. There's a lot to all of this.
There's a lot of layers. Someone call Shrek.
Yeah, the onion. She then said on the next tab, you sometimes feel like the only thing you have to offer the world is being a mom. There's an and there, but I want to pause for a minute.
Read that for me one more time, please.
You sometimes feel like the only thing you have to offer the world is being a mom.
So are you going to forget your thought? Mm-mm. Okay, so I'm going to speak from personal experience because I've thought that. I have felt that way before, especially in my postpartum. Having 2 under 2 and being in postpartum, being pregnant while in postpartum for my first child, I was a mess. And I had no personal identity. I felt like a cow who was here for milk and changing diapers and screaming babies. There was the environment that I was in, and there were a lot of things contributing to the mental state that I was in. It wasn't just postpartum and being a new mom and having 2 under 2. Not a new mom, but having a new life in the family. But the postpartum added on to it a lot. And thoughts like that were pretty prevalent for me. And looking back, when I would tell myself those things, I'm nothing more than a mom. Why are you smirking?
Because looking back at me, I see that I never really got it right. Every time I can't have a conversation with you and not be singing songs in my head. I fucking hate it. It's distracting.
I love it. What's the next part?
I don't know. It's just that part because you said looking back. I only stopped to
think of you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hi. Yeah, no, I love that. That's a great song. Your mind is fantastic.
It's a playground of stupidity.
No, I do that all the time too. Do you want me to start interrupting you with songs?
No, I was trying not to, but I started laughing at myself because I couldn't make it stop.
I do that. But looking back, so telling myself that specific kind of phrase, the only thing I have to offer is being a mom. The only thing I have to offer is being a sex object. The only thing I have to offer is to make people laugh. I don't get taken seriously otherwise. All of these other things. I'm not in a good mindset. I was depressed. I was, can I say suicidal on YouTube?
I wouldn't repeat that phrase.
That's
over
my
and over
once.
Again. Okay.
So they can see that I'm concerned about the censorship.
Right.
I wasn't okay as a human being. And those were phrases that I would say to myself, like present me looking back, evaluating my life and trying to find ways to mentor other women. And those were victim statements that I would feed to myself. I would say it on repeat, and that would be my self-validated reality. And if people were mean to me about it, or the person I'm in a relationship is doing shitty things, well, that just affirms what I'm telling myself, because I don't feel loved as a woman. I don't feel loved as a wife. I don't feel as if I'm part of a community, right? Because all of the other moms are shaming me for having C-sections. Like, there was a lot.
And where are you at now, though?
Where am I at now? I think I'm a wonderful mother. Oh, I'm not going to cry.
And you have a community.
I have a community. I have other mothers in my life who are like-minded but different because they have their own life experiences and own thought processes and opinions, and we challenge each other in supportive, growing ways. I'm in a totally different place, and it's because I got myself to a point to open myself up and not be a person that people didn't want to be around.
So you created the social environment that you needed.
Yeah, I created what I craved.
And there's also a very big difference between being 2 years postpartum, because you did basically do that back to back.
I did, yeah.
And having the 2 under 2 and the stress that comes along with that, and a really shitty relationship.
Yeah.
To being a mom of a 5 and a 6-year-old that you're not just a mom to, though, but that's a great title to have.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is, in the first Crow movie, there's a phrase when he's pulling the morphine out of Darla's arm, and he says, "Mother is a name for God on the lips of hearts of all children." And that is one of those things that, like, as a kid, that was my man, I'm old. When we had voicemail beepers, that was one of the things that I had put on my pager kind of as a cry for help, because I was being abused.
Right.
Right. So, and knowing the life that I had when I was younger and all the bullshit and the way that my actual parents failed me, they definitely didn't fail me in every situation. Right. Like I'm a good man because of some of the things of my stepdad, but at least I like to think I am. But I had to be adopted by another family for me to truly understand the way that a mother is supposed to love a child. And because of my experience of what a mother and a child bond is supposed to be, knowing that she said, the only thing you have to offer the world is being a mom, I don't think there's a much greater thing that you can do. You are going to influence the outcome of another human being's life.
You're cultivating life.
And it will last them their entire experience on this planet.
And it'll pass down through generations.
Right. She said, and you have lost everything else that made you who you are. Which, by the time I had gotten to this point, I had already stated in the comments that I believe she's lost her identity, that she only believes that she's a mom or a stay-at-home wife, and that she doesn't have anything that she can call herself
right
besides a mom.
I'm going to say something, and this might piss people off.
Okay.
Read that sentence one more time.
And you have lost everything else that made you who you are.
So the first thing that came to my mind is that's a choice.
It absolutely is a decision.
Right? And some of the things that I would tell myself to validate not doing my hobbies or not going out to get coffee. I don't want to bring the kids there too much. Well, you have kids.
Right. Teach them to be better so that you can acclimate them to public.
There was, and I still fight this sometimes, a guilt in living life outside of my children. Being somebody outside of their mother. Right? Society is, I'm chuckling because it's a coping mechanism. It's not because I think anything is funny.
That's fine. We know that.
I always feel the need to explain that. Do you remember in medieval times when they would tie someone to a bunch of horses by their limbs?
Yeah. Rip them apart.
Yeah. So society does that to everything. And we all know that they do it to mothers. And you're either too involved, you're not involved, there's no in between. And, well, you should have hobbies because you're still a person outside of being a mother. But what, you leave every Friday night for 3 hours, you're not putting your kids to bed? You must be selfish. So there was a lot of guilt. Sometimes there is still a lot of guilt. There is the unobtainable is not the word. What's the word? Unobtainable?
I don't know where the rest of the conversation is going, so I don't know the word.
Unobtainable expectation of...
Unreasonable expectation?
Unreasonable, I think, maybe. To be perfect mom mode all the time.
Yeah, it's unreasonable. It is unobtainable. You can't, there's no such thing as the perfect mom. Your situation is going to be dependent to you and your children.
Right.
So what's perfect to you is not going to be perfect to the next person.
Yeah. Like if you're someone who enjoys painting, get your kids into painting.
Right.
Don't be frustrated that you can't have an hour by yourself. The kids love painting. I love painting. So now when I bust out my watercolor paintings, you guys can use your acrylics. We'll set you up over here at your little table. You can do what you do. We'll all sit outside so I can hear nature and we'll paint.
We should get them little easels so they don't get paint all over the place anymore.
That's part of the Christmas list. And sometimes in life, we just have to thug it out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not going to have somebody to watch the children. Sometimes you're not going to get a break. Sometimes your break is going to be at 11:45 at night, knowing you have to be up at 5 a.m. and you got 15 minutes to eat a cupcake by yourself. Life is not always going to be this hard.
It's true.
Enjoy the fact that you have children to get through it with to provide something better on the other side.
The idea that we as a society, us as a tribe, let's start there, because that's how all of this started for us. If you had elders in a tribe or you had a close-knit family, your clan, whatever you want to call it, and you had people there who were giving you advice, you would heed the advice because they had already lived the life that you're trying to live, or you would heed the advice because you didn't want to be the outcast, because being an outcast in that type of living would literally get you killed.
Yeah.
We thrived in communities. Mm-hmm. You know, being nomadic and moving along by yourself would get you killed. It was very, very, very hard to survive in communities. It was much harder to survive on your own. So we have a need to please others. It is ingrained in us to make sure that we stay in the herd. which is why people will listen to the opinions of people on the internet, because the things that they say may make them feel bad and they don't want to feel that way. So they listen, right? Or maybe they need that validation to feel good and they listen. At the end of the day, looking for other people's validation to give you what you need to fulfill and be happy is slavery.
Yeah.
There is a mental slavery in that. I am giving up of me to make sure that you are happy enough that I can be around you and you not shun me and push me away.
Right.
That's a problem. So for somebody who is a mother and feels like that's, how did she word it? Has lost everything else that made you who you are, you chose to do that. Whether that came from shunning, blame, judgment, the need for validation of others, the need to feel like you're doing the right thing. Like, you made decisions along the way that has isolated you to the point where you're not more than a mother. You're not a painter. You're not a photographer. You're not an artist. You're not a bookie. You're not a video game person. You're not a gardener. You're not any of the things that you enjoy doing. You're cleaning houses and taking care of kids, waiting on your husband to get home because that's your only social interaction in the world. That's a problem.
It is a problem.
Isolation is not healthy.
No.
When you look at punishment to prisoners, they put you in the hole, which is just a cell. It's not like they're not actually putting you in a hole. For those of you who don't know that, it's administrative segregation. They call it ADSEG. They take all your shit and they sit you in a room and you're in there 72 hours at a time before you get to come out and take a shower. You have nothing to do. There's nothing to read. Like, depending on where you're at, like, you're stuck in a room with nothing. And that isolation is hard as fuck. It's actually been considered cruel and unusual punishment. And I think that now they're letting you bring books and shit into your cell, but you're still not getting social interactions outside of that. The social aspect of life is necessary. By definition, we are social creatures. It's how we evolve and learn and thrive. Again, without that social interaction, you die. All right, the next slide says, you're sorry for the way your body looks after growing and birthing a human. There's more to this, but I want to pause there.
Okay.
You're sorry for the way your body looks after growing and birthing a human. If you are a man who decides to have a child with a woman and her body gets some girl marks on it, she's got a little bit of extra weight now, like, you did that. She decided to have this baby and stay with you, and like, there's an honor to that. You shouldn't be looking down at her appearance because she's got a little bit of thickness on her. A steak is not a steak if it doesn't have some fat on it. It's gross.
Right.
So I need my girl lines and I need my fucking marbleizations. Like, those stretch marks aren't for me. I didn't do that to you, but I don't think there's anything gross about that shit. There's an honor to that. And I wish that most men felt the same way. I know that a lot of men do, because I've talked to a lot of men that don't think anything about that shit. I think that bothers y'all way more than it bothers us. Now, are there men out there who are obsessive over weirdness like that? Absolutely. There's people that like feet. So people are going to have their preferences. That's fine.
Right.
But the shaming of that, like, is that something that is instilled in women because of other women, or is that something that's more likely instilled in women because of men?
A mixture.
Okay. Because you guys are told you're supposed to look a certain way and you're supposed to behave a certain way and you're supposed to meet all these society beauty standards. That's why women are getting Brazilian butt lifts and, have their pussy hanging out when they're walking down the fucking street, on a date night for a bar or whatever. Like, that's just, men aren't telling you guys to do that shit.
So I think it started, I'm going to be honest, I really think it all started with the internet really making a big boom, and parents who use TV to entertain their children thinking that the internet would be the same thing, and it was not understanding how vast and how much access and what they had access to. And that really shaped a whole population in America. And it's just gotten worse from then. When I was one of those late teen, early 20s, always had my phone in my hand. I was always up to date on what's on the internet. I was not living in the moment. Rarely left the house. Always in my bedroom.
I've started calling that The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I was that. I was so disconnected from reality. And I felt really bad about who I am, who I was, my body, the way I presented myself, the way that I talked. And me now, right? I have very much minimalized my social media interaction. I try to live as present in the moment as I can. And the women that I see in real life are not the women that are on the internet. Everything, I see it all now. Especially after becoming a photographer, I see all of the edits. I see the mess ups. I see the blurs. I see the lighting. All of it is fake. Even video.
Yeah.
I can see filters on video, live video, TikTok live streams with filters on them to alter the way the person's body looks. It's insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. So I think to answer your question after that big explanation is, I think that it's a mixture of marketing, business.
I was going to say marketing.
Right. Using the internet the way they use the internet to make money. Men and women latching onto that unrealistic expectation because sex sells. Corn addiction. Plastic surgery because sex sells. And then comparison. Comparison is the killer of...
Thief of joy.
Yeah, the thief of joy.
Did you ever watch Nip Tuck?
That's a show, right? Mm-hmm. I think I did on like TLC or something.
I know it was like a drama TV show.
Oh,
it wasn't a reality show.
No,
it was about two plastics. It was about two plastic surgeons who it was a fucking whole mess. Their entire lives was a mess. But one of them was like a ladies' man, and he would always get these girls to go on dates in Beverly Hills, and then would pick them apart when they took their clothes off, and would sell them plastic surgery. I got into that show. Like that was a whole fucking mess of things. And it was very entertaining. That was like 20 years ago. But, knowing that that's a thing, knowing that sex sells, knowing that it is marketing, knowing that you are supposed to look a certain way to meet a certain standard of society, all of that is a marketing ploy. Mm-hmm. Lipstick and makeup was a marketing ploy. Men weren't like, hey, you should go buy makeup. Right? Like that was a magazine saying, ladies, you want to impress your man? Buy this.
Right.
You want to get a good man? Look this way.
Yeah.
It's not be a good woman. It's not work on your values.
It's buy this product.
It's not be red. It's buy. You got stretch marks? We can fix that. Mommy makeover. Right. Mm. Let's sell you tons of fucking shea butter, cocoa butter. Like you got to do this and do that and take these and do that. And like that's the depression that is being forced on younger people through social media, and Meta had to go in front of Congress over that. She then went on to say, you're sorry that it will never look as good as the day you met. I have a newsflash for all of you women out there who want to have kids and are concerned about that. You will never look the same as the day you met.
Yeah.
You will never look as good as you do right now. You're going to age. Time is the ultimate victor. It fucking beats everyone.
Yep.
No one has beat time yet. It is an undefeated motherfucker. You are going to age. Your body's going to sag. It's going to disappoint you. It's going to betray you. You're going to have fucking aches and pains. You do the best that you can. Mm-hmm. And if you have a man that expects you to look like a fucking vampire for the rest of your life because you don't age,
it's not love.
It's not realistic. Mm-hmm. It's a false expectation, and you are going to let them down. That alone is a problem for me. Do you have anything on that one?
Yeah, I do. I saw a video the other day. I can't remember what she said specifically, but it was something along the lines of, I was comparing myself to my pre-baby body, and then I recognized that I was comparing myself to a teenager.
Damn.
Right. And when I think about what I compare myself to, I'm thinking about 15, 16-year-old me. Yeah, 17. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And I'm a woman.
And not a child.
Right.
Dude, that opens a whole other conversation about
it does.
Sexual expectations and the way that children are sexualized.
Yep.
And that women do that to each other. Mm-hmm. It's not, anyways.
It's a whole mess.
Okay, so then the next thing says that you're sorry you never have the motivation to dress up or do your makeup anymore. That sounds like depression.
That does sound like depression. Read that one more time.
You're sorry you never have the motivation to dress up or your makeup or do your makeup anymore.
Sorry to who?
This is all to her husband.
Oh, this is all to her husband.
Yeah, you're sorry for the way the body looks after growing and birthing a human. You're sorry that you will never look as good as the day you met. You're sorry that you never have the motivation to dress up or do your makeup anymore. This is all one.
That's definitely depression.
Yeah. And that, again, when you isolate, your depression gets worse.
You don't have any hobbies. You're a caregiver. I believe that mothers are more than just feed the children, take the children outside, make sure that they're changed, make sure that they're bathed.
You're a whole ass human being.
You're a human being. A mother is a rounded being to teach their children how to be a human. And if you're not a human yourself, you're just a caregiver going through the motions.
And now that you just laid all that out, do you see my problems with labels?
Yeah.
This is why we don't get hung up on things.
Right.
This is why it shouldn't say in your bio mother or wife. It should say mother, wife, photographer, bath line, entrepreneur, whatever. It should be your descriptive, your bio should be a whole lot more than a single fucking word.
Yeah.
What?
Metal detector person. Should we want to go to the beach tonight?
Maybe. We will definitely have time this evening.
We will.
She then said, you're sorry you get overstimulated so often and don't know how to show affection anymore because you're constantly feeling overwhelmed and overtouched.
I don't think it's either of those. I think it's burnout. I think overwhelmed and overtouched are like symptoms of an illness. You have a runny nose and your throat's sore. You got burnout. Find ways to start being fulfilled again.
If you're depressed and the only thing that you do day in, day out is clean and take care of a child, you have no social interactions, you're probably doom scrolling in your downtime, being fed more depression from the internet.
Not just fed depression. It is customized.
Right.
Specialized specifically for you.
Yeah, custom tailored depression.
There we go.
That's that new exotic, exclusive, limited edition depression
just for you.
That is just for you. Absolutely is. Of course, you're not going to want to be sexual and you're going to feel overtouched and overstimulated because you're taking in all this bullshit and you have nothing in life that's bringing you joy.
Where's the gratification in life?
Right.
Right.
So all of this, the way that she's worded all of this makes being a stay-at-home mom sound really fucking depressing. It sounds not enjoyable. It sounds like you're a slave. It sounds like, you're waking up every day, living your life for another human being that will probably never really appreciate your sacrifice. You're isolated and alone. You have no one to talk to. This is the whole first half of this is her individual isolation experience where she's chose to only be a mother and to not enjoy other facets of her existence. And I hate it.
Right.
Because it paints a very bad light for the stay-at-home community. You have anything else on this one before I scroll the next one?
No.
Sometimes you get jealous. Your partner gets to go to work every day and get out of the house. Meanwhile, you're home doing chores and dealing with temper tantrums. This is a cognitive bias.
Yeah, I was just thinking perspective.
Absolutely. Perspective, yeah.
Like, babe, I'm sorry you have to go to work and miss out on time with the kids and the family.
Hey, the baby just took their first steps and said, Mama, sorry you missed that. I didn't get it on photo. I didn't think they were going to do it.
Baby just ate their first solid food.
Hopefully that'll happen again when you get home and you can witness it.
Yeah. Yeah. I know that temper tantrums suck. I still get frustrated. I get overwhelmed. I need a minute.
You still have them.
What do you mean?
Temper tantrums.
Me?
I'm kidding.
We're just going to... I'm turn this car around. What do you mean?
I'm just giving you shit.
No, I need to know.
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Keep going to this final destination then. Put your seatbelt back on. With the children growing, right? I'm growing as a mother with them. The mother that I was with them when they were 2-3 years old is not the mother they're getting when they're 5 and 6 because they have evolved. They're different.
Because you have evolved and are different.
Right. Things that will distract them when they're two, like jingling keys in front of their face to get them distracted from what they're upset about. It's not going to work anymore. Now we have to have real conversations about, well, life isn't fair, Bubby. Sissy went to the doctor today, so she got something for going to the doctor. She's in a lot of pain right now. You didn't have to go through what she went through.
Right.
Those kinds of things. I get gratification out of that. But I also enjoy being challenged, and being a mother is challenging. You have to find new ways to not only cope with yourself and new frustrations, but to also cope with other human beings and teach them how to cope and understand themselves when they can't communicate what they're going through.
Yep. This, I think, stems from a lack of social interaction.
Yeah.
She's jealous that he gets to go to work and she has to stay home. You're both doing a job.
Right.
In the grand scheme of things, you're both really doing a job. You are raising a child that you created, and he's providing for you and a child that he created. This is the teamwork. You guys are doing what's best in the moment to make it what you think is going to produce the best possible outcome. I'm willing to bet he doesn't want to go to work.
Right.
Most people don't. Most people wake up and go, fuck, it's Tuesday. I gotta fucking go to work again. I don't want to do this shit.
It's only Tuesday.
Right. Most people are living for that little bit of free time on the weekends. So I'm sure that he also envies your ability to stay home. There are a whole lot of men out there who go, I would love for her to be the breadwinner so that I could stay home and take care of the kids all day because we're efficient. We can get everything done in the first 2 hours of the day and then fuck off. Play with the kids, go to the park, go swimming, take them to the skate park and teach them how to skateboard. Like, it's time management, right? Like, and women will be like, you don't understand. No, I do understand because I'm effective as fuck with my time. And I love knowing what all I got to get done because I don't procrastinate shit.
Right.
I am one of those motherfuckers that the faster I get all this done, the more time I have later in the day to dick around. And I want to dick around.
Right.
So I'm going to wake up early, get all my shit done, and then fuck off all day, and it's going to be great. Now, does that mean that I'm going to have to not clean up vomit and shitty diapers? And if that's the case, or have to clean up blood because the kid fell off their bike or whatever the situation is? No, I'm still going to have to do all that. But that's a very small fragment of my entire existence of my day because kids and I are doing dope fucking daredevil shit. Like,
right.
And in the event that I want to watch TV and just take a break, I'm going to put on some fucking stunt stuff because both of the kids, boy and girl, want to watch some stunt shit.
They do.
And I get to decompress for a little while because I can't keep up. I don't have the energy of a 5 and 6 year old.
Right. And they actually sit down and watch it.
Yeah. And ask me questions and I can talk to them about stunt stuff because
Yeah.
I know that. And that's brainless activity for me.
Yeah.
And what I don't know, it's likely being put on the screen so I can just read the fucking subtitles and I know. Dad's a superhero. Dad knows everything. If I don't know, ask Dad. If you don't know, he'll find out because Google knows everything too. So
Yep. I wanna piggyback on that. The other night I was cooking dinner and the children both ran in because I was standing in the living room watching with you guys. It was like Sunday night football, but with dirt bike stuff. And I walked away to continue cooking dinner, and both the children ran in. They were like, "Pops, pause the TV. Come here. You have to see this." And I was like, "See what?" And they were like, "He's doing a cool thing on his bike. He's doing something no one's done on the track before." And I was like, "Okay." And it was actually a really, really cool thing. But
they were super into it.
yeah.
They'll remember those times. I have a memory of my biological dad. I don't have many. Like I didn't have a whole lot of time with my real dad. I got sent to Maryland one year for school and summer vacation. Like I spent from summer to summer. And the only thing that I remember 3 things from that year. One of them is getting into a fight in like that classroom. I remember we lived on a farm, a dairy farm, huge, like 1,000-acre farm. I threw a rock through frozen water that was cow shit. So when it broke and splashed my cousin, I got beat for that.
Oh my God.
And then I remember watching E.T. with my dad laying across his arm a long ways on the couch crying because E.T. got fucking, that whole sad shit at the end.
No,
I was like
E.T.,
6 or 7, right? But I remember that connection with him. And if our kids remember all of the time that we watch TV or go dirt biking and I have those core memories with them and the things that they remember is not, well, Pops yells all the time or Pops is the one who doles out punishment. Like I want that bond with them. And I think, I believe that I have cultivated that experience with the kids because I am doing things with them. Before I hurt myself, I would run and play and like climb and do, not just sit around and scream and yell and bitch and complain. Bochelle said, "You guys are the parents I needed as a kid, to be honest. We're the parents that we needed as a kid."
You said earlier, this might have to be cut. You might just have to keep this just for Patreon. Something about trickling through, right? Like you're the parent and then it trickles down to the child, whatever. It led me down a train of thought, but then I realized that, no, you said that you were adopted by a family to be taught what it meant to be loved by a mother. Loving our children is how I learned what it means to be loved by a mother.
Yeah.
Crazy.
We actually hear that shit a lot about the parents that I needed, or I wish I had parents like you when I was a kid. Shit, I wish I had parents like me when I was a kid. We didn't have, neither one of us had this type of attention or patience or compassion, understanding. Everything was
Grace.
a fucking problem. It doesn't mean that that's a free pass to let your childhood trauma dictate your existence. Tara said, is Carrie on vacation or something? Is she okay? She's great. She's in Texas. She comes home tomorrow. She's had, I think, 10 or 11 days off. She worked the whole time that we were in Thailand and got completely caught up. And she's going to come back to be completely behind.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. I've done her a solid, and I've been editing all the long format. So all she's got to do is clip when she gets back. But I'm trying to make sure that we stay on top of things because I want to get a lot of recording done before January and then a lot of shit ready before we go in May to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
You should watch the TED Talk by the 7-year-old girl called How Peekaboo Can Change the World or something like that. That little girl spoke so well about the importance of play with children. Jay said, I had to marry into a family to see what a childhood parent bond should look like, but still extremely thankful. Honey Badger said, I love the playtime. We made balloon swords and had a sword fight for 30 minutes before bed, all laughing and having a great time. It's the time. Bedtime was so smooth after it's needed. Well, yeah, you wore them out a little bit, but they're going to bed from a non-scary place, especially at the age. Our kids are fucking terrified of the dark.
Oh, absolutely horrified.
And it's weird because at 6 and 7 years old, I was watching Freddy movies and Jason movies, and like
That's crazy.
yeah, that was normal for 80s kids. We were fucked up by our parents. Movies weren't going to scare us very much. I still had fear of going to bed.
Yeah.
The idea of falling to sleep after watching Nightmare on Elm Street at like 7 or 8 years old was fucking horrific.
Yeah.
But
I can imagine.
yeah, I don't know. Abby said, it's really interesting to look at the parenting tools my parents use, both good and bad, and picked out what tools I want to use with Thomas. It makes my heart so happy when he loves the games my parents and I used to play. I would like to just let you guys know, if you're not subscribed to our Patreon, this is a great time to go click the link in the description and go subscribe to our Patreon. We record all of these episodes live. There's a chat that we interact with. We were live for probably 30 minutes before we actually started this episode. We'll probably be live a little bit longer. When we're done with this, we're going to record episode 50 and we read the chat, we interact. So even though it's not like a full-blown live stream, it is live. There's 30 to 80 people watching every time we do this, and we do interact with the chat. Sometimes we cut it, sometimes we leave it out. I will leave all this in because I want you guys to know that you're missing out on a whole lot of To Be Better by not being a part of our Patreon. And you're missing out on a fucking great community by not being a part of our Discord. And that can be accessed through our Patreon.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to this.
Okie dokie.
Anything that you want to touch on with the sometimes you get jealous your partner gets to go to work every day and get out of the house. Meanwhile, you're at home doing chores and dealing with temper tantrums?
No.
Okay.
No.
The next one says, you're sorry you complain so much and you're sorry for not being the happy wife you used to know. You're just out here trying your hardest every day. I have a lot on this one.
Are you trying your hardest if you're not trying to fix it?
Right. You've accepted this life.
Right.
What that should say is, I'm sorry I'm not doing more to correct the issues. The other thing that I want to notice, what I want to touch on, is the man in this relationship is missing that his wife is suffering and is doing absolutely nothing to drag her out of it.
To aid, yeah.
If I saw you going through this and the light that attracted me to you burned out and we're both sitting in darkness, I'm dragging you out of that bitch kicking and screaming. If that means vacations, if that means I don't care. I don't care what we have to do. Like, we have to get back to a place of normalcy because you are the light of my life and the direction that I'm going. You're the anglerfish with that fucking bulb. Yeah. And I'm like Dory. Oh, okay. Pretty, right? That's the existence. And if that light goes out, we're both fucked. Right? I'm not going to allow that to happen. So if it starts dimming, I'm going to notice that shit. If we're not okay, I'm going to know it. So how is he that disconnected to his woman that he's not seeing that we're not okay? And why isn't she talking to him? Why isn't there like honest conversations about how burnt out she is and how fucking tired she is? And why does she view it as complaining? Expressing your needs is not complaining.
Right.
Now, are you actually complaining? Are you just bitching to bitch because you want to be heard and you needed to get out of your system? Or are we trying to find solutions? Because there's a difference. Expressing your needs, trying to find an outcome is a whole lot different than complaining.
Right.
Complaining is just to hear yourself bitch so that everybody knows how fucking miserable you are. What's that doing for you?
Yeah.
You good on that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now on the more positive side.
Okay.
So this was a TikTok. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That was 8 screens of complaints.
Okay.
On the positive side, you absolutely call me Ned Flanders. You absolutely adore this life you have made together and can't wait to make more memories together.
That's it?
That's the first slide of the positive.
Oh, okay. That's the first slide.
You absolutely adore this life that you have made together and can't wait to make more memories together. So by the time I got to this screen, I'm like, okay, now we're getting positive. I'm like, wait a minute, was this all an attention grab? Because she's been cleaning the whole time. Now she's doing her hair. So she's actually doing her hair. This whole thing is a psychological mindfuck.
Okay.
And I believe that it was intentional. Like, I'm going to get them to feel sorry for me, and then I'm going to brag about my life, and like I'm going to show the depression and then show the goodness. And it's getting views. It's her most viewed video. How do you have all of those complaints and all that issue and then say that you absolutely adore this life? If you adore this life, all of those complaints wouldn't be complaints. They would be road bumps. They'd be speed bumps. They'd be potholes. They'd be small, minor inconveniences that you know how to work around and talk to your husband to correct, to make sure that the dope life that you're living continues to be a dope life. Your grievances and the things that you need to change to have a good existence wouldn't be complaining. The next tab says, you love the fact that you were given the opportunity to stay home and watch your children hit every milestone right in front of your eyes. You're there to hug them every time they get sad or sick. A few minutes ago, she was tired of the temper tantrums. Anything on that one?
No, I agree with that.
Okay. You're grateful. This is the card you've been dealt, and this is the easiest job you ever had. You wouldn't change being a mom for anything in the world, although earlier she was having a hard time only being a mom.
Right.
And she was complaining about how hard it was. Through all the hard days, you know this was your calling, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be in life.
Read that second to last one again.
You wouldn't change being a mom in the world for anything in the world. Through all the hard days, you know this was your calling, and you're exactly where you're supposed to be in life.
Go back one screenshot.
So there was only 3 positives.
Okay, well, you said something and it triggered a thought, and it wasn't that.
You love the fact that you were given the opportunity to stay home and watch your children hit every milestone right in front of your eyes. You're there to hug them every time they get sad or sick.
Okay.
You're grateful this is the card you've been dealt, and this is the easiest job you've ever had.
Okay, that was it. So being a stay-at-home mom is not the easiest job I've ever had, right? And I've said that before. I'm acknowledging that I have said that being a stay-at-home mom is the easiest job. I'm going to elaborate on that because I feel differently now.
Okay.
It's not the easiest job that I've ever had. It is the most enjoyable job I've had.
Yeah. Would you say it's the most fulfilling?
It is the most fulfilling. It is the one that brings me the most joy. I know that I am making a direct impact with this job, and I feel good about that. It's not easy. Dealing with 2 growing humans and trying to teach them how they can communicate, and we don't handle our anger this way, and anger is a mask. What are you feeling under the anger? And trying to get a 5-year-old to understand that's difficult, but it's also challenging for me as an adult, as a parent, pushing me to find new ways to cope with my emotions and my anger, and finding new ways to communicate with an underdeveloped mind, right? Because they see the world totally differently.
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to say that it's not the easiest or the hardest job, but it's definitely the most important. And I believe that for every parent, not just moms, not just dads, like literally anybody that stepped into the role of parent, because you are going to, whether you like it or not, dictate the outcome of another human being's existence. And if we are all fucking our kids up the way that our parents fucked us up, you're going to have a really rough time in the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. Like, it's going to trickle down, and that shit is going to last with people. So, you know, there's not a lot of people out there who are breaking generational trauma. A lot are trying, or as they say they are. You know, that's the new narrative on social media, breaking generational curses. Are you, though?
Yeah, are you?
Right? Like, and hopefully you are. And hopefully that's just me being cynical. I don't know. But I definitely think that is the most important role you'll have, at least for the next 12 to 15 years. After that, they're going to know everything, and there's nothing you can tell them anyways. Ours are 5 and 6 and hit us with "I know" constantly. Like, you don't fucking know. Say okay. That "I know" shit makes me want to fucking stick a piece of bologna over your face.
We say thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was driving somewhere and the kids were in the back seat and our daughter was saying something. And I was like, sweetheart, you don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about? And I was like, well, first off, don't talk to me that way. I'm being really polite to you right now. See how I'm not angry? I'm not yelling at you. Don't talk to me like that. And she goes, okay. And I'm like, so sweetheart, you're 5. I'm a lot older than you. I can Google things, right? I'm not saying it like that, but I'm still being like goofy with her. And she says something else, and I was already irritated, and I was trying to remain calm, and I was taking deep breaths, and she says something else, and I looked at her, and I was like, child, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. Because she's arguing with her brother about it. And he's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Stop. And I was trying to be that calm mediator of mom. Like,
she's a fucking know-it-all.
Oh,
she gets involved in conversations that she hears bits and pieces of and tries to tell me what's going on. And we're at a point now where we're like, hey, you weren't in here.
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about. Mind your business.
I've hit him with this is an A-B conversation.
I'm going to start doing this. Go like this. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm going to be, put your finger on your nose. And they're going to do it. And I'm like, hold your nose there. And they're going to be like, why? And I'm like, because you're fucking nosy. And this is going to be the reminder. So you can go ahead and just hold your finger there for the next 10 minutes. And when your arm gets tired, let me know.
Yeah, I hit them with, I don't need the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Nunya, what? Business, walk away.
Oh, man.
It's fun to try to find ways to let them know that what they're doing right now is crossing a boundary or being disrespectful without making them feel bad about it.
Now that we've read that out loud and broke all that down, I absolutely regret giving that video the attention that we just gave it. I'm sure that it's going to help people.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I named the TikTok creator. It's not really relevant, but looking back at that first 8 pages was absolutely a pity me victim mindset.
Oh, yeah.
To get attention for the last 3 slides to be the exact opposite of everything that she was just complaining about.
I'm going to be honest. I'm slightly surprised that it's only 3.
Okay. So then okay. Do you think you can get to 8 positives?
I think I could exceed 8 positives.
Yeah.
Easily.
Okay. So go.
More 8. Okay.
Give me at least 8. Because there's 3
and I
already
can't do what
there.
she's listed.
Right.
So what did she list? So I don't hit them again.
She gave 3 pages. 3 screen grabs.
Okay.
You adore this life together and can't wait to make more memories.
Okay.
You love the fact that you were given the opportunity to stay at home so that you can catch all the milestones that he's missing. She didn't say that he's missing, but I did. And you're able to hug them when they are sad or sick. That it's the easiest job you've ever had. You wouldn't change anything in the world because you're a mom. And through the hard days, you know that this was your calling. So there was nothing really there that screams positivity and being a mom, other than she gets to witness the firsts. And that shit's important to mom and dad.
Yeah.
Those are milestones, right?
So for me, the positives of being a mom, being able to stay at home and do that whole thing.
I can't wait to homeschool. I know.
Oh gosh.
That's been so heavy on me lately. I had to just get it out. Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God, we're going to have so much fun. The aquariums, the museums, the national parks, the seeing the stars at night in the woods. Like,
we'll be able to take them to archaeological sites. They'll be able to see cave paintings. You know, there's a lot. We could take them to mines.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of things that we can do. Ghost towns in Arizona. There's a lot of history and life that can be learned not in a classroom. And it's more impactful. It's a whole lot more impactful when you can actually go see things. If we took our kids to Gettysburg and let them
Oh my
walk through that
gosh,
cemetery, or took them to what's the military cemetery with all the white crosses? Why can't I think of the name of that?
Oh my gosh, I've been there.
Yeah, it's not coming to the forefront of my brain right now, but the sombering experience
Yeah.
of reading those names and like actually experiencing that
A
would
lot of
be,
graves out there.
yeah, it'd be a lot. And then we'd be able to have conversations about it. We could take them to France. They could see Normandy, right? Like there's a lot that can be had from a life of not being cooped up in a classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Arlington, thank you.
What was I saying?
That was it. You were saying that it would be exciting to take
before homeschooling.
them. You were about to start listing out all the things.
Oh, do you still want me to do that, or are we moving past
No,
that?
we can run it. I got excited I'm excited for that, and I couldn't
Okay.
contain it. I wasn't thigh slapping excited, but
Yeah.
I am looking forward to being able to experience that
Yeah.
with them.
So this is just in regards to being a mom,
Or stay at home.
a stay-at-home. I can cook whatever I want, whenever I want, and I am the chef of the menu.
Chef Boyar Peaches.
Love it. What are we having for dinner? Oh, that's right. I get to pick. That's right. Let's see. I get to pick out when shower time is. That's nice. I like being able to structure my home life, and the children are just kind of at my whim right now. So if we had a super long day, all right, everybody, shower time in the morning.
Yeah.
Routine is important. Showers typically happen at night, but sometimes showers happen in the morning, and I like that flexibility of my life. I can take naps whenever I want to. Oh, it's fantastic. Sometimes the children nap with me. Sometimes the children have quiet time in their bedrooms, and they are respectful enough of that to allow the nap to happen. Maybe 20 minutes, but it's still a little nap.
Yeah.
They
Power nap.
try their best, yeah. What else do I love about being a stay-at-home mom? Finding all of the fun learning activities to do with the children that they get excited about. Seeing them, like the same way that goats crave salt, children crave knowledge and learning things. They're sponges. And I love seeing that excitement in them when I plan something.
Yeah.
That fulfills me. That's nice. If I add on to the cooking thing, is that a separate thing, or is that like a 2-in-1?
I think that would,
Because I like them cooking with me.
Okay, well that gives you the ability to. That's different.
Okay.
Them cooking with you is you teaching them how to survive.
Yeah. It's fun to cook with them. They're goofy and scared of me hurting myself. And I'm like, oh, watch this. No. No, I never do anything to purposely freak them out. They're all little anxiety balls in themselves. Mommy, be careful. I'm okay. I'm just dicing a potato. We're all right. I'm not. If I was like fast chopping, then we would have to like pay attention because I'm not coordinated like that. But I appreciate the care. It's nice. Let's see. What else do I enjoy about being a stay-at-home mom? Or what did I enjoy about being a stay-at-home mom? Movie time during the day. That's nice. A nice midday break. We've done so much in the morning. So much is done. Have a light lunch, watch a movie, cuddle on the couch. Don't have to do anything until 3 p.m. And then it's light cleaning because I did the deep cleaning in the morning. Meal prep. I'm not meal prep, but prep for dinner. The peace. Oh gosh, the peace of being a stay-at-home mom. The only adults that I have to interact with are the ones that I choose to.
Right.
Yeah. That was nice. And sometimes the adults I had to interact with were just the ones, I don't know, like by law, doctor, school, the ones I have to go see, right? It's nice to be able to choose when I get to interact with the outside world.
There's a freedom to it.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the bills, any of the finances whatsoever.
Yeah, that's nice.
Don't have to worry about the vehicles. Don't have to worry about the property.
Yeah.
Don't have to really worry about much anything because I'm taking care of it. You just have to worry about the inside of the house. Like
I watched a video. I want to say it was from 1883 or 1912. One of the Yellowstone off branches. And it's a Ford truck. That guy. I can't remember his name.
Sam Elliott.
Him and a bunch of his buddies are riding up on the horses, and there's a woman there with a wagon and her 2 sons, and something's wrong. And he says, "Is this the woman whose husband got ran over?" And they were like, yeah, she's been out here struggling for a while.
That was Harrison Ford, not Samuel.
Was it Harrison Ford? But they were like, we're going to teach you how to do all of these things. We're going to show your boys how to do it so they can learn it from a man. Like, and she was, in exchange for their help with the horses and giving them water, she was like, I can be a good wife to you. You're not married. I can be a wife to you. You can help us. Like, I'll take care of your life. And he was like, I don't want that. I've had a wife already. I'm not looking for that again, but we're willing to help you now.
Right.
Back then, women without their husbands were doomed, especially if they weren't raised to take care of things, right? Because it was abnormal or taboo for women to have the same extent of knowledge that men did when it came to those kinds of things. The providers that the men were integral to survival for a lot of women.
Should still be the case. I believe that should still be the case, but
and
we've gotten easy and squishy.
Yeah. I was sitting on the patio this morning, 5 o'clock, and I watched that, and I was sitting there, and I was like, oh, man. I was like, I love my husband. I was like, oh, I don't want to lose my husband. I'm going to be so lost when he's not here. And I was like, I am thankful that I am at a time where I can read. I have knowledge. I am an entrepreneur. I'm able to have a business and all of these other things. Like, I was set up for success in a way that women weren't back then. But still, my life will fall apart without you in it. Like, you're my husband.
It doesn't have the same meaning if you're doing it alone.
Yeah.
I get that. I fucking get that. Okay, I want to read a couple comments from the Patreon chat here because there's things that were being said and I don't understand why. Jenna said, okay, Chris, LOL. I don't understand why you said that. What was I doing that was the case? She also said that we should change Zach's name and our contacts to All-Knowing Parrot, which I fucking think is hysterical.
You want to know what our son looked at me the other day and said? we were sitting in the car, and when I park in the driveway, I let the children mucky around a little bit, especially if I need a minute before we get out of the car. Like, we've had a really rough car ride, and I just need to belly breathe. And then our son ended up next to me in the front seat. And he looks at me and he goes, Mommy, you need to reach out to Zach. And I was like, why? And he was like, I need you to let him know that I was sleeping with the parrot and I was sleeping too hard and something happened.
He broke it.
And I was like, what happened, buddy? And he was like, one of the feet popped off and his wing is weird. I was like, okay. And he was like, can you tell Zach to get me a new parrot?
Damn.
And I was
bastard.
Like, buddy.
Damn.
He was like, Zach would want to know.
Yeah. really trying to manipulate that situation there, bud. That's funny. Zach said being a stay-at-home is like being a business owner and that you may have a ton to do, but you are the master of your universe.
Yeah.
You control the schedule and pacing of your day, and you answer to yourself. I love that.
Yes.
Moonbeam asked if they can play rock, paper, scissors yet. No.
Oh, gosh, they do.
They don't know how to play it, though.
Oh, no, I got them. They got, like,
They
last
understand
2
the
weeks.
rules now because all I hear is rock, paper, scissors, shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot, rock, paper, scissors, shoot for like 15 minutes.
No.
And they're not playing. They're just going like this.
No, well, I got them onto it because I'm really trying to instill them because now they really want to get my attention while driving. Before it was, Mommy, look at this. Mommy, look at this. And I'd be like, oh, wow, yeah, look at that. Now they're like, Mommy, you didn't really look. I'm like, well, I can't look because I'm driving. So now they're starting to get that frustration of, Mommy, you've been lying to us. And they can't have my undivided attention. But I've been telling them that I'm tired of the arguing. You're either going to sing about it or you guys are going to do rock, paper, scissors. And with the rock, paper, scissors, I taught them how to do it because when I'm driving, you don't have my attention. So you're either going to figure this out or you're not.
Right.
Because you're going to sit in silence or you're going to get in trouble. And they've gotten the rock, paper, scissors sound, but our son hates the fact that our daughter's better at it. She throws different things and she pays attention. Like if our son throws scissors 3 times in a row, safe to bet he's going to throw scissors that 4th time, right? Like she's catching on to that. And he gets frustrated about it because their rock, paper, scissors sessions went from 10 rounds to 5 because I see your bullshit.
Right.
And he hates it. But that's the frustration now with rock, paper, scissors versus not knowing what to do.
Oh, look, Danish is here.
Hello, Danish.
That whole kids are wild. Their little experiences are so pure.
It really
right? Like they come and tell and like do the dumbest shit, and it's dumb to us because it's so not important. But
Why
to
are we
them,
arguing about this right
but
now?
to them, it is the most important thing in the world because they haven't had any real trauma.
This
like,
is the biggest travesty in their life.
right.
The argument last night when we got into the house, we got in and the children were arguing about something. And I looked at you and I gave you a kiss and I was like, I'm so frustrated. And you were like, already? Oh no, it was after trick or treating. I was like, I took their candy. And you were like, already? And I was like, children, tell pops. And they were arguing over our son being able to look out of Sissy's side of the car out of her window to see a cloud. And the whole car ride home was, well, she told me no. And I was like, buddy, how was her telling you no keeping you from looking out the window?
Right.
It's not. Then what are you upset about? She told me no. Buddy, can you still see out the window? Yes. Then what are you upset about? She told me no. Well, Sissy can't control you.
Right.
And it was, and then she's like, but I said no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, shut your mouth. You're not helping right now. Like, take a step back. Your brother's upset.
Yep.
And his volume is slowly increasing. He's very hysterical. He gets very animated and very hysterical when he's upset. And he's throwing hands and, well, why would she say that? Well, take a deep breath. And let's try that sentence one more time.
Yeah.
Well, why would she? Take a deep breath, buddy. Let's try this again. It's a lot.
I started watching
It's a lot of energy.
Started watching videos on autistic shutdowns
Yeah.
and meltdowns because they're not the same thing. Obviously, they got different names, but
Yeah.
the shutdowns, I think, are something that we need to sit down and discuss a little bit.
Yeah. Because of the disassociation is a shutdown.
Yeah.
I hit the
What was
box.
that? I think that's something that we need to spend a little bit more time researching.
Okay.
Whole lot of things happening there.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research on how to get the children's attention. And something that I am now going to start implementing, right? Because when I'm speaking to a child discipline-wise, I make sure that it's eye contact one-on-one, we're the same level, all those kinds of things. But I will never, unless it's a very serious offense, right? Like, this needs to be a private conversation. If this is a learning lesson I think that the other child can take away from, I'm going to have that child stand there. And I've been listening to videos, and one thing that I'm going to start implementing is, unless it's necessary, talk to each child one-on-one. Even if it's something that the other child can learn from, they need to learn that in their own experience.
Well, it also prevents them from being embarrassed and shutting down.
Yeah.
Embarrassment and pain are the two best teachers. I've always said that. I believe that.
Yeah.
Because if I do something that embarrasses myself, I'm not doing that shit ever again.
Noted.
Right? But there's also trauma that can come from that. And like, there's definitely a time and a place to have a conversation.
Yeah.
I do agree that we shouldn't be talking to them above, like looking down.
Yeah.
Especially if they're being disciplined, because that's an imposing thing, which is why I make it a point to always try to get low and have conversations. But I also will put my hand on, it's always to him, and I'll lift his head up to look at me in the eye, and I'm just talking to him, but my hand's on his head. So like,
Yeah.
we're talking. I'm not angry with you.
There's
like
a physical connection.
Right.
I do that too, the physical connection. Especially when the kids get upset and they're getting ready to throw a temper tantrum, it's now to a point where I hold my hand out and they know immediately I'm going to go hold mommy's hand and we're going to take a deep breath. And I think that physical touch is a big deal. It helps a lot in conversation.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. We'll give T a choice, and he gets upset that neither choice is favorable, and then he gets offended that we won't do what he wants. #wild. But that's the choice theory aspect.
Yeah.
We are implementing choice theory really hard with the kids, and we're letting them know that there's consequences. And if they don't want to do what they don't want to do, you don't have to do it, but there will be a consequence. And then afterwards, when the consequence happens, be like, you didn't want to do it. You knew this was going to happen. This is what life does, buddy. Like, there's a lot in all of that aspect.
Yep. Our daughter last night, she was having a really hard time because I was like, all right, pizza for dinner, everybody. We're getting home late. We are thrown out of our routine right now. It's late dinner time, late bedtime. We watched a Halloween movie. We let them stay up until 8:30. Super late bedtime. And when I say stay up until 8:30, I mean they were in the living room watching TV. They're not in bed unwinding.
No,
That's
they were.
usually 7 p.m. We're laying in bed.
Yep.
getting ready. And she was like, yep, I want pizza. Our son was like, no, I do not want pizza. And I was like, all right, noted. I cooked accordingly. She ate half her pizza and she was like, I'm ready to go to bed. And we went to bed and we were laying there and she's like, Mommy, I'm hungry. I'm like, all right, dope, you have pizza out there. And she's like, I don't want pizza.
Then you're not hungry.
I was like, okay, well then you can have breakfast in the morning because you specifically told me that you wanted pizza and we have pizza sitting out there. I'm not cooking you something new. You're not going to get a little snack because you didn't want to eat dinner. You can have your pizza. And then she started crying. I'm like, sweetheart, we're not doing this. You can have the pizza, which is delicious, fantastic. If you don't eat it, I'm going to go eat it. You can have breakfast. And that was it. We laid there, we cuddled. She ate one more slice of pizza. The crying is a really hard thing for me, especially from our daughter.
That's because she knows she can manipulate and she does it on purpose.
I know. And it happened again this morning. She wanted something and I was like, no, we have this. Or we had this. She was like, well, but I want Dunkin'. I was like, no, we had Dunkin' yesterday morning because it was Halloween. We got a special donut, right? You got Dunkin' twice this week because Halloween, they usually get it once a week if they've had good behavior. And she's like, well, I want it again this morning. I was like, well, that's not how this works. Dunkin's something you have to earn. If you have a good weekend, we can get it next week after school on Tuesday, whatever. And she started crying.
You know what you should do the next time she cries? You should grab her bottom lip and go, you better tuck this up before you trip over it. Or go, while she's crying.
I feel so bad. I want to comfort her. I hug her and I'm like, I know this sucks and I'm sorry. I'm teaching you something right now. I know it sucks right now and you're not getting what you want. And then she really started crying and I'm like, okay, well now I have to like disengage because if I continue to baby or comfort, she's going to cry more and be like, well, if I cry enough,
she'll get her way.
Yeah. So that's a disengaged moment. And then brother will start being, oh, sissy's crying. Brother, mind your business. Get out of here. It's so hard in the car to have that happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you're driving.
Right. And like, I can't divide them. I mean, I can separate them by seats, but
we got to get those TVs in your car to work.
We do. We have to get the Wi-Fi set up.
I just need to know the code on your car so that I can call T-Mobile and have them connect the car. When you get in there, there's a setup function and it'll give you a serial number. And I just have to call T-Mobile and be like, hey, I bought a car that's got this serial number. I need to turn on the unlimited data for business.
Okay.
Honey Badger said, I would love to know what videos those were. My son is autistic and that would be a great info for me. Just go to YouTube and type in autistic shutdown.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I learned a lot from that over the last couple of days, and I'm learning new coping mechanisms when dealing with situations in our life because of it. Zach said the parrot's on the way. It'll go to the doctor for a few days and come back with his foot and wing fixed.
I love it. Zach, thank you for doing that.
They ask about you and Jenny quite a bit.
All the time. Yeah. I picked them up from school the other day. I think I sent this in the Death Star chat.
Yeah.
But I picked them up from school and they were both like, do we get to see Zach and Janae? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? They were like, we missed them. And I was like, I get it.
They want to go back to Tennessee.
Yeah.
Because in their mind, that's where Zach and Jenny and that cabin and like that experience. Yeah. Jenna said, Peach gets the biggest grin ever when she's talking about the kids, even when it's about how they were jerks. You can tell that she's a great mom by the way she exudes when mentioning them.
Oh, thank you for that. Oh, why did that make me emotional?
Because you seek validation on being a good mom, and she just touched that nerve.
I do that. I asked you that question last night.
Yeah. Brendan said, I'm having a hard time with my bonus son. He's been telling my fiance and I that he isn't wanting supper. He then sneaks out of his room and steals food when we're asleep. So move the food.
I think that's also a grasp at control.
Yeah, it is. Well, it's them wanting what they want. when I was like 4 or 5 years old, I wanted hot dogs.
Yeah.
And we didn't have hot dogs. And my mom was going to make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But I wanted hot dogs. Right. And I wasn't fucking eating peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I wanted what I wanted.
It's not a hot dog.
Well, the room that I was staying in at the time had a sliding glass door. And I got sent to my room because I was being a shit to my mom.
And you're 5 at the time?
Yeah. Okay. 4 or 5. I was young.
And you have a sliding glass door. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I also knew how to unlock and open the sliding glass door. And I fucking went right out the door and went over to my friend's house and knocked on the door and said we had no food.
I remember this conversation.
And like conned the mom into giving me hot dogs. Well, the mom reached out to my mom and was like, hey, if you guys need anything, let me know. He said you didn't have any food in your house. I got fucking beat over that because I made my mom look like she was a bad parent when in reality, there just weren't hot dogs.
You lied. Yeah.
Kids are little shits.
Kids are crazy, yeah. Especially when they want to get what they want.
Yeah.
My daughter, I have to start looking to you for reality checks because I'll be firm with our daughter and she'll be like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I'll be
Yeah.
like, "Did I just yell?"
A little manipulative shit.
And you'll be like, "No, you just told her no and she didn't like it." And I'll be like, "Don't do that. I did not just yell at you. Don't try to fib to make me feel bad in the moment." Little butthead. Being a parent's a trip.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I'd find out what his favorite food is that he's sneaking into the middle of the night, Brendan, and then buy a spicy version of it.
Yep.
What were you doing? Why were you eating that?
Oh, you're waking me up in the middle of the night because your mouth is hot?
Right. What happened?
Why is it hot?
Yeah. Choice.
Our children snitch on themselves before I can discover things
Right.
now.
Because they know they won't get in trouble when they lie.
Yeah.
Or when they don't lie, I mean. When they come and tell on themselves,
They just know there's a consequence.
Right.
Our son, he woke up and he had chocolate on his mouth. And before I could even say anything, because I wake him up from more, and it's always super gentle. I'm like, "Hey, princess. Hey, buddy. Good morning. Wakey, wakey. Shaky, shaky. Little jumpy, jumpy." And his eyes open. He like, "Mommy, I snuck chocolate last night." I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I know it's on my mouth. I fell asleep with it last night." I was like, "Why did you sneak chocolate?" And he's like, "Because I wanted it." And I was like, "You know what this means?" He was like, "You're going to move the chocolate." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I'm going to have to ask permission for chocolate." And I was like, "Yeah, you don't just have access to chocolate now." And there was no yelling. I did. I was like, "Bud." And he was like, "I'm sorry." And I was like, and he's like, "You're disappointed." And I was like, "I'm disappointed." But there was no yelling. There was no, "You're in trouble." There was the acceptance of, I now have to ask permission for chocolate. And if my mom or pops tell me no, I have to accept the no. And if I throw a fit over the chocolate, I get in trouble because I decided to sneak chocolate and I don't have access to chocolate. And
In the grand scheme of that, though, how big of a deal is that in reality?
what, that he snuck the chocolate?
Yeah, it's not.
It's
he had
not.
a fucking candy bar.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, Nintendo was a thing. When
Yeah.
Nintendo first came out, I had Nintendo games. That was I loved playing video games. I was a fucking hardcore video game kid. I did that way more than riding my bike and playing. And every time I got in trouble, they would take my video games and they would hide them in the cabinets in the kitchen. They would just put them really up high where I couldn't get them. And as soon as
Yeah.
they'd leave the house, because I was a latchkey kid, I would just climb up there and get them. And when I knew my parents were about to get home, I would just go put them back. I knew how they were laid out. I would just take the game that I wanted to play and not move anything else and put it right back where it was. Right? So like I
Yeah.
still got to do the things that I wanted to do. I just couldn't do it when they were home.
I would do shit like that too.
But in reality, how big of a fucking deal is that? Now, would my parents have been pissed if they caught me doing it? Absolutely, because I'm doing something they told me not to.
It's the principle of it.
No, it's a control thing.
Oh.
It is.
Well, I was thinking from my experience
Right.
with discipline.
It's a control thing. We
Yeah.
want them to be punished for their actions, so we took it from them so that they can understand they fucked up. I would get grounded for months.
Right.
So like, I get it. I'm in trouble.
Now what?
6 months later, I'm still fucking in trouble for something I did 6 months ago. I don't even remember what the fuck I did. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so him taking a candy bar, is it really that big of a deal? He took candy? No, it's not, which is why it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, if he took a fucking marker and drew all over the walls, that's a very different conversation because he's destroying shit.
Right. Or like drew on Sissy's face while she was sleeping.
Right.
Yeah, there would be. I would probably lose my mind over that. I would probably. I'm sorry, I'm yelling at you right now. Give me my 5 minutes. Like, come back to me when I'm calmed down. I'll find you. Just go somewhere. I need 5 minutes. I can't believe you've done this. I'll say that to the children too. I can't believe you've done this. Oh, I've also taught them, y'all gonna make me lose my mind.
Yeah, from DMX.
Yeah.
In here. Yeah.
That reels them in now when they're not listening.
Because it's fun.
It's fun.
And they know that they have to stop what they're doing because you're actually they're going to get in trouble. But
they're engaged.
They're engaged. Yep.
Because you have to stop what you're doing to say up in here, up in here.
Yep.
All of the nurses heard that at the doctor's office the other day.
Yeah.
Because, well, we're in a massive room with almost nothing in it. The sound reverberates massively. I'm having sensory issues out of my ass. And it's just, ha, 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 mommy. And just screaming. And it's just, y'all gonna make me lose my mind. And they're like, up in here, up in here. And they're having fun with it. So that's all we're doing. I'm like, this is better than them screeching.
Yeah.
So the nurse has got an earful of the children up in here, up in here. Why are you smirking?
Partially because I would let my daughter act up when we went places.
Yeah?
Yeah, because people would hurry up and get you in and out.
Yeah.
was me.
Oh, yeah, because they want you out the
leave.
fucking area.
Yeah. So I was thinking about that, and then I looked over and I saw somebody wrote angry eyebrows would be hilarious, and that just made it worse.
Could you, oh my gosh, have you guys seen the baby with angry eyebrows?
Yeah.
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 Oh, our daughter though, she doesn't care about having like dirt and stuff on her face, but she has an issue if someone's trying to make fun of her. So if she woke up and her brother drew on her face and she has to go to school with marker on her face because her brother was being mean, that would be hard. I would let her stay home that day and do everything that we can to try to get that marker off her face because the fuck, brother.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's one of those things where I would have to hide my laughter because it's funny, right? Like it's a dick. But that would really mess up her day.
That means when you think about that, everything you just said, that means that she understands the intent behind the bullying.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what's being said. Somebody could call her a dork in a nasty tone, and it's the intent behind it that becomes a problem. This is going to lead into, or this I guess ties into a conversation that I had with somebody the other day, that your kids understand your body language way more than the words that are being spoken. So if you're, I was talking to Shaggy, if you're sighing or you're doing things that your kids can verbally pick up on, the first 2 years of their life is nonverbal. So all of your body language, your posture, your tone, inflection, your facial features, the way that you conduct yourself, your children base their world off of all of those things. So they are going to understand intent way more than dialect until they're much, much older in life. And for kids who have small vocabularies and struggle to be articulate, they're going to grow up to be much more empathetic to people's body language and the surrounding energy from people. And I think that that's something that kids with autism tend to have an advantage over, even though that's a disadvantage that they can't necessarily speak. I don't know.
I'm starting to pick up on signs from our daughter. She repeats phrases and words that she hears. Sounds.
Oh yeah. Echolalia.
Yeah. She does that. Something happened. What was it? Something you were speaking on. So now as a parent, right? I've really, as a person, right? As a human being, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to feel negative emotions.
Fucking either.
I don't care how frustrated I get. I'm going to walk away for 5 minutes. I might yell, but I don't want to feel this way forever. So please let me walk away for 5 minutes and then we can come back and we can all be calm and all those kinds of things, right? And I'm really starting to do that with the children, and it's de-escalating a lot, especially with them coming into consciousness and recognizing that they don't get what they want all the time and life isn't fair and all of these other kinds of things. You're right. Every argument is the worst argument they've ever had because what is happening right now? I don't understand. Why am I upset? Why don't they understand? Why is he doing this? Why is she doing that? All of the whys. And I also don't tell the children I'm angry. What you just did frustrated me because I've had this conversation with you multiple times that we don't do this, right? I'm disappointed in what you just did because you know better than that, son. Those kinds of things. And our daughter, I was buckling her in the other day because she has a hurt arm. And they were doing something, and I repeated myself. I said something once, and I said it again, and then I went silent because now I'm mad. And I don't want to yell at the kids. I don't want to say anything out of frustration, so I'm just being quiet. And I was buckling her in. And as I was buckling her in, she goes, "Mommy, are you frustrated with us?" And I was like, "A little bit." And I was like, "Why did you ask me that?" And she was like, "Because I can tell that you're frustrated with us.
She can feel it.
We're not listening, and I can tell you're frustrated." And I'm like, "I am. I don't like repeating myself to you guys. I feel like when I say something once and you don't hear it the first time, you're never going to hear me because you're not paying attention." And then son was paying attention. He was like, "I'm sorry, Mommy. I didn't mean to frustrate you." They're smart. They pick up on everything.
Right. Okay. So there's a balance of needing to teach them to be mannered, have good manners, to be respectful, to be good people, to behave in public. But there's also the balance of their fucking kids still.
Right.
And like, you remember doing the dumb shit that we did as kids. There was no thought of consequence. It was just fun in the moment. Or, you know, like as an adult, if you're on a roof and you're like, just jump. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Right.
I was jumping off of roofs at their age.
Yeah.
Like off of this, no problem. And I would never think I was going to get hurt. I'm fucking invincible until I, hit my chin with my knee and knock myself out or break a tooth. Like, You are just doing things because it's fun in the moment, and that's youth.
Yeah.
You have a little bit of time in your life where that's really okay. And then as you get older, you start to really have consequences for the stupid shit that you do. And I understand a parent's need to want to teach the kid to be respectful and to have manners. And there's a time and a place for that. And there's a time to just let them be fucking kids.
Right.
And that's why I want to homeschool them so bad. I don't want them to be stuck in a classroom for 8 hours to learn something that we can teach them in 3.
Right.
If they were homeschooled right now, you could do the homeschooling thing. We could set them outside to play for a couple hours while we recorded, and then we could go to the beach.
Gosh,
we could go to the park. We could walk Ivy. We could do whatever the fuck we wanted to do.
Right.
And the kids would get real world experience with adults that could let them do stupid shit in a safe environment.
A controlled environment.
Right.
Oh, there's something else I was going to say. What was it? This morning with our son. So our children don't just get TV time. They have to earn it.
Right.
Right. And during the school week, you will earn TV time based on your behavior at school. You lose evening TV time if you didn't listen, if you were talking over your teacher, if you were being a distraction, all these other kind of things. And then it resets the next day. So in the morning, you guys can watch 2 episodes of Bluey. If you get dressed for school, brush your teeth, brush your hair, get all those other kinds of things done, shower, whatever.
Okay. We're removing the art of procrastination from them with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Because you get what you want after you get everything else done.
Yeah. Do it as quick as you can.
Right. So you get 2 episodes of Bluey. So this morning the children were watching Bluey, eating their cereal. Our daughter had mac and cheese for breakfast. And that's one way I allow them to have a sense of control in their lives is, well, what do you want to eat? I'm not going to tell you no to mac and cheese. I would eat mac and cheese for breakfast. Stop it. Come on. And Bluey was doing something in the show. She was getting distracted by a bunch of things. They were supposed to be playing a certain game, hide and seek. And nobody wanted to play hide and seek with Bluey as the seeker because you don't find us. You get distracted too easily. You start playing other games and whatnot. And Bluey was like, no, I can do this. Like, please, just give me one chance. And they all hid. And 30 minutes later, Dad's asleep where he's hiding. Mom's checking her phone going, where is she? Bingo's playing another game by now. And Bluey's distracted drawing. And Bingo comes out and she was like, oh, did you find anybody? And Bluey's like, what do you mean? Oh my gosh, we were playing hide and seek. And like they go back. And our son was like, why is Bluey keep getting distracted? I was like, well, I don't know, buddy. I'm not really paying attention to the episode. And he was like, well, that happens to me sometimes. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, I just see things and I want to play and I forget that I'm doing something. Right. I was like, I get it, buddy. That happens. I was like, I love that you love playing.
It's going to happen as an adult.
Right.
How many times have you got up to walk to the kitchen and forgot why the fuck you were in the kitchen? I have put my car keys in the refrigerator.
I have been
Not on it, in it.
Right. I have been mid loading the dishwasher. Left the dishwasher open and walked away because I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I was in the middle of cleaning the sink in the kids' bathroom.
Yeah.
And then like in the middle of cleaning the kids in the sink, but whatever, I just stopped sweeping the master bathroom 2 hours ago.
ADHD doesn't exist.
Like I'm all over the place. I have to stop myself because I'll be cleaning, tidying up, and I'll be like, oh, this belongs in the kids' bedroom. Be like, oh, well, I should collect all of the things that go into the kids' bedroom. And there's things in the kitchen and in the foyer and on the patio. And I'll be picking up things from the kitchen that belong to the kids. And I just left the living room. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, these counters are filthy. And now all of the kids' things are sitting on the counter over here. And I'm cleaning. 30 minutes have gone by. I'm like, why are all the kids' things on the counter? Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm a mess.
Amanda said sometimes it's Chris quotes now. What do you mean it's Chris quotes? What are you quoting? Leftover mac and cheese or cold pizza is great breakfast. Breakfast foods, eggs, bacon, toast, grits are an excellent supper. I agree with that.
Ooh, we've had breakfast for dinner the last, 3 nights?
It's my favorite thing. I like breakfast above all.
We've been doing gravy and biscuits, bacon, hash browns, eggs.
Alana said I trip over my open dishwasher all the time because I get distracted halfway through emptying
Yeah.
it. Not me, I kick it with my shin because she left it open. It'd be like that.
But now I leave the racks open too, so it's not just a thing on the floor. If you don't see this,
now,
it's not
now
my
I'm
home.
kicking all kinds of shit.
Just divert.
She said song lyrics, movies, and Chris quotes in my house. That's funny. I like to think that you have your peachisms.
Yeah.
And I have my profound moments where I say some really dope shit and people are like, hey, you say this. And I'm like, I don't fucking say that. What are you talking about? And they're like, oh, I said that once.
Yeah. I have moments like that too.
Yeah.
There are times where I hear something and I don't recognize as my voice. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, shut up. That's me.
You've done that a couple times. Holy shit, I'm actually pretty fucking smart sometimes, huh? I'm like, yeah, babe, you are.
I've hit him with no wonder people listen to us. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That was fucking good.
We're just winging this shit.
Yeah.
We don't know what we're doing.
I say something. There are times where I'm formulating a sentence and I don't know how the sentence is going to end. Like, I'm just going with it. And you're like, people are like, oh my gosh, that's so profound. I relate so hard. I'm like, I'm so glad that made sense to you guys.
You're just excited to find out what you're going to say as I am, right? That's funny.
Yeah.
You are a walking, talking, intrusive thought.
Did somebody say that again? Or
No,
were you just,
that needs to be a t-shirt.
you were just reiterating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been 2 hours for something that should have been a 30 to 40 minute episode.
This is 2 hours.
Well, it's 2 hours of record time. We had that 20 or 30 minutes in the beginning where we were just bullshitting.
Yeah.
It was probably less than that, but I think we should wrap up.
Okay.
We were supposed to do an actual episode, but it's 1 o'clock today. It's 1 o'clock
It's
now.
1 o'clock right now.
1:07, yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You got to leave
I gotta
in
get ready to
50
go.
minutes. So, for you guys who tuned in, thanks for tuning in on Patreon. This has been an enjoyable episode.
This is fun.
I feel like even though I'm disappointed in not processing that conversation sooner, I feel like it was definitely a good conversation. I feel like when we pre-read, we have predetermined conversations that need to be had, and it's not authentic. Like we've already worked through everything, and the conversation can be very short because of it.
Right.
So the working through process, I think, is important, which is why I try not to read things all the way.
Me
And
too.
I stopped reading. Once I realized it got positive, I just screenshotted and stopped. So with that being said, guys, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you at some point, probably this weekend.
Life is a lot. I need to clean. I have a lot going on after this. I haven't thought past now.
Was that your goodbye?
Yeah. Farewell, everybody. Toodles.